Okay. Hey, ready?
Yeah.
Already? Yeah. Okay, tell me when. Oh, we're going. Okay. Day 3. So far, we have visited the capital of North Dakota, which Bismarck, Joe claims is the fastest growing city in the nation. Not sure if he really knows if that's true. Yesterday, we got up at 3:50 a.m. and we hiked Ross Peak. We almost died a few times. And at one point, Rosalind was hanging on by his teeth to a rock to not fall down to his death. It was absolutely terrifying. Ended up being like a 17-ish mile day, we think, that ended on some hot springs in Idaho, which were really cool. Clothing optional. But yeah, so now we're just heading to a place to do some cliff jumping. See how that goes. You can tell everybody this is the song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind that I wrote down the words. How wonderful life is what you're in.
Okay. So yesterday, I already looked at the camera. We woke up in Seattle at Evan's house. Thank you, Evan, and all that hair. Wonderful. So then we took a ferry to get from Seattle over to the Olympic Peninsula, and to save 16 precious dollars, we hid Linsmeyer and Mikey under all of our masses of junk. You know, we were driving up, I was sitting in the passenger seat, just adrenaline going, thinking we're gonna get caught or something. And then after we pulled through, you can still see Mike's foot sticking up.
Your feet are sticking out.
And like Linz's elbow or something. Like, it was not well done, really, but we made her, and that was pretty fun.
We saved $16.
Once we were on the ferry, we didn't really know what to expect. None of us had taken one before, and they had a cafeteria that was basically better than the Commons, and we all got some coffee. Classic Linsmeyer. Burnt his mouth, and then dismounted the ferry to drive around the Olympic Peninsula.
Where are the Ewoks?
We saw a waterfall 90 feet. That was pretty awesome. After that, hit the road again and saw the Pacific Ocean. Awesome. Thought it was gonna be beachy, or sand beach. It was rocks. There were no pretty girls out tanning or sunbathing. It was actually pretty cold. And also with all the driftwood, we were doing some good old lumberjack log rolling out there, showing our true Wisconsinite attributes with that one. Yeah.
Jessup, I think I have a match. I'm sure of it. Goonies. The state smells like happy. I don't know if it's the trees or what, but when we pulled in last night, it smelled like cat piss everywhere. We didn't bring a cat on the trip.
Woke up this morning just outside of Bend, Oregon. We stayed at Smith Rock, and so we'll wake up to go for our morning run. Look outside and just big old rocks just right there. We weren't expecting that. We got in pretty late last night, and it was just awesome to wake up and just, it was almost like we were in a desert with these giant just rocks. So Mike, Jessup, and I went and did our run, ran along some trails down there, a bunch of rock climbers out. It was just awesome running down there. Saw there was a hot air balloon just right over the top of them. It was beautiful. After the run, packed up, and then we biked around Bend, got into downtown, and kind of tourists for a while. And it was pretty awesome getting to Eugene. Kind of had to break into Hayward Field.
We basically just snuck into the men and women's locker room via someone walking out and us getting in the door real quick. So once we got out on the field, we can't exactly get back in the locker room. But we're just gonna take care of it when we get there, and I mean, it's Hayward Field. You can't not do it. Everyone has to take their homage.
It's time to run fast. Let's go.
I feel like me running on Hayward is the equivalent of Uncle Rico playing on Lambeau Field, if that makes sense to people. Here we go.
Mike did his 200 workout on there. I did a mile pretty hard, did a 400 pretty hard. It was fun. And we got a lot of pictures and really took it in. Once we were done with that, we're about to head out and realized I couldn't find my phone. Turns out I left it on the track, so I had to break back in to the field, get it, and then hop the fence and get back out. Then we headed to Bandon to see Bro, aka Twiggy.
Now I've seen it through, and now I know the truth. That anything could happen, 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 anything could happen.
Yesterday we got up with Case, Twiggy Bro, and did an 8-miler with them. On the way out, about 3 miles in, Joe started dropping the hammer, and we started going about sub-5 down these hills to the beach. Went down to the beach, hung out there for a bit. Casey had to go up to Bandon Dunes and take a big old dookie. Yeah, so we got back, showered up, and went to the Bandon Dunes gift shop, bought some souvenirs there. Went up and got a nice pic overlooking the resort. Yeah, and then we hit the road, brought Casey back, got to the redwoods, saw some massive trees, got a surprise visit from Smeagol.
Stupid fat habits.
Yep, hit the road after that, and we were just bombarded by construction. So many stops, so many long waits. Just, yeah, we barely got any distance yesterday, but that was okay.
Well, yesterday, first started out, had some potential, but it wasn't going great. Construction got us down. I forgot my Fruity Pebbles at Casey's, so wasn't the best case Ontario. However, we eventually had a rock throwing competition. That got things rolling. Shortly after, we found a spot on, I think what was the Trinity River of Northern California. Literally the most beautiful water you've ever seen in your life. It was awesome. Found some cool cliffs to jump off of. David Roseland, he was the man of the hour. Not a big fan of swimming in the water, jumping into the water, and not a big fan of heights, so double jeopardy, right? Michael, I don't think you know how Double Jeopardy works. Oh, I'm sorry. What is Double Jeopardy? Office. So yeah, Roseland did a great job. Everyone did a great job. I really appreciate the support from the locals or the tourists going by who honked at us and didn't report us for any public indecency. Man, that was awesome. I don't know what else to say about it. It's amazing.
Okay, so Thursday. Thursday was pretty interesting, and by interesting I mean not very interesting. We slept in I think Yuba City or something in Northern California, and we kind of drove to Salt Lake City in Utah, and we just drove all day. I guess the geology was pretty interesting. We came out of the city and there's a lot of grassy rolling hills, and then kind of turned into very large mountains, and then we drove across Nevada and there's a cool salt flat that we drove through, and then we got into Utah and it was more big red rocks. It was pretty neat. So when we got to Salt Lake City, we met up with our friends Caleb and Jordan. They used to be on the cross-country team with us, and yeah, Jordan took us on a pretty fun mountain trail run overlooking the city. A few of us ended up sleeping at Jordan's on her floor and couch. She had some extra mattresses, so that was cool. And we got to hang out with her dog, Duke. And Duke really liked Joe. Like, really liked Joe. I'm not sure how else to say it, but Duke couldn't hang out with Joe anymore. Okay, so the next morning we got up and said our goodbyes.
Yeah, their trip is pretty cool, pretty ambitious. It's nice of them to stop by, hang out at my house, and trash my bathroom.
And we drove to Aspen, Colorado, and we kind of did the tourist thing.
A little place called Aspen, where the beer flows like wine, the women instinctively flock to like the salmon of Capistrano.
Lynn's got a fishing license, we got some pizza, and then we took off, and David dropped us off at the top of Independence Pass, which we biked down the other side. We ran into a herd of goats crossing the road. Meanwhile, Linsmeyer went fishing at the bottom of the mountain, and so we biked down and got to watch him fly fish for a little bit. And that was quite pleasant. Then we camped on the base of the mountain, Mount Elbert, and there was a lot of shooting stars we got to see, and a lot of real stars that we got to see too. It was quite pretty, and yeah, that was a pretty fantastic day.
Excuse me. Tomorrow we're gonna try to hike Albert Mountain, highest peak in Colorado, at an elevation of 14,400, something like that. We're gonna have to see how the ascent goes. We don't want to get altitude sickness by climbing too fast. I know Jesse likes climbing really fast, but if we have asthma, if we have anything else going wrong, respiratory, it's not really good for you.
Okay, so yesterday we started our day at 4:30 a.m. and climbed Mount Elbert, which is the highest point in Colorado. That was awesome. We saw the sunrise over the Rockies. We had to run up the mountain though to get a good view. At least Jessup did, and Mike. Mike also, right? It was Mike, right? Got some pretty awesome sausage fingers on the climb.
so that was fun for him. But yeah, it was cool view up there.
I'm exhausted.
We made her.
Yeah.
Headache.
3 hours, not bad. Met some interesting people. And then, after summiting that mountain, we went to Buena Vista, which is a town nearby. We went and took a nap in the public library. Most comfortable chair I've sat in all trip. Then after that, we drove to my camp where I worked last summer, and we got a free meal out of it. That was sweet. Steak. So thanks, Mike Mack, if you ever get to see this, for the free meal. We did some slacklining. I didn't. They did slacklining. We said our goodbyes to some old friends. And now we've been on the road all night since what time did we leave last night? Since 6:30ish. And we are just going through Iowa, which is exciting, especially after seeing mountains. I mean, gosh, what else could you ask for? So now here we are on the home stretch.
Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
Good. Get it out before the camera's rolling.
We did it.
Yeah, we're done now. 5,700 miles, 100 hours of driving. A lot of states.
I think 11.
11 states.
A lot of states, a lot of shoes in our car, a lot of smellies, bad things.
Bad smells.
Some sweet hats.
A lot of hats.
Very little room in the car.
Yeah.
We learned some valuable things, right, Mike?
Yeah, don't bring a giant cooler or a grill that we will never use.
Yeah.
Don't be too friendly to dogs, because they might take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Gotta let them finish.
Okay. All right. Hi, Mom. Yay. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.